morning and hello, I'm Professor Code. This is the Forex Supermodel Racing Review and Forex Briefing for Friday the 17th of March 2023. Yesterday we had a race at, where was it, Dundalk on the weather at 6:50, 16th then, Thursday the 16th. We were on this So Majestic number 6, which came 6th, which was last at 33 to 1. It was drifting all the way. And the eventual winner was Mendares at 3 to 1, which is pretty relevant for us. But anyway, we had £1 for 3 places at 2 to 1, which was what was reasonable at the time, and then we had £2 per £8 unit on 18.7 early on. So that was our win stake, and then it started to drift, and we ended up on the exchanges with about 29 to 1, and we still you could have got about 50 at one stage. And so we had £4 on per £8 unit, so 400 for us, which is our half a unit exposure. So that crashed and burned quite nicely. What happened then? Well, the whole rationale of that bet was that So Majestic had been strangled in its first run and run wide, and was open to plenty of improvement. And this next race was, if they were going to have a go, was ideal. It was drawn 2. And if it was given its lead, it would have been tough to peg back. But in the end, it was half strangled. If you watch the early part of the race, tucked in, and so really that horse is being gamed for a handicap mark, and it's sort of on our do badder list really. So anyway, we lost that. So the account came down yet again to plus 69.20 units, approximately, from a peak of 73.74. So we've lost about, I don't know, we've lost two and a bit thousand quid off the account, and arguably we've made a couple of ricks, not doing a forecast yesterday, and just missing out on 3rd place for one of them in the Constitution Hill race, but that's all excuses anyway. So that was that. Unfortunately today, not very clever for us, so no betting it. So that isn't going to improve, but it's not going to get any worse either. So that's where we are with that. On the Forex front, well, Forex, there's a lot of aggro in the market with all this Credit Suisse bailout. The Swiss Credit Suisse bank has been bailed out to the tune of the equivalent of 6 to 7% of Switzerland's GDP, which is pretty amazing, really. They've just thrown about over a 20th of their GDP just to prop up this sort of zombie bank, which has been taking the mickey for years, and obviously the people at the top are well sorted on that, but the rest of Switzerland are not so clever. Anyway, regarding today on Forex, you've got 10 o'clock Euro CP consumer prices. And you've got, yesterday you had ECB rates decision. They went for the 50 basis point rise just to show they could do it, but as soon as they did it, they rode right back, and there's no mention of any further rate rises. Basically the ECB is peaked out on rates there, and the dollar is now starting to look like it's got a rates differential in its favour. So something to bear in mind. And 1400, you've got Michigan consumer sentiment, which is basically sort of as I say, it's a sentiment index. It's not that relevant really, but it's something to hang on to in the afternoon. And really, it's all going to be about positioning for next week. Are we going to see any more banks stressing out over the weekend? Probably. So you're likely to see yen strength, and so on and so forth. You've had a bit of a bounce in equities, but they're likely to come off again. So that's what we can say there. We're working on our format for Forex, and generally we're going to try and sort that out. We know it's been a bit shambolic recently, and the racing's well, been a pain in the neck. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and goodbye.